Alright, gonna be continuing my series of album rankings today. Gonna be doing Goldfinger because why not? Coming in at last place is Stomping Ground. I could never get into this album. I just don't know why. Like, I tried to revisit it a couple times over the years and I just cannot get into it. Just, it sounds not appealing for some reason. Now, yeah, it has 99 Red Balloons on it. If an album has one great song and it's a cover, then it's probably not that good of an album. That's all I'm going to say. At number 7, I got Never Look Back. Now, the thing with this album is that there are some really good songs on it, and there's also some very forgettable, boring, generic, not good songs. It's just a mixed bag, really. Now, the deluxe version, the original songs on that were all fantastic. I don't know why they were not on the original album. Maybe they just didn't record them at the time. But those songs were all great. This album probably would have ranked higher if they put those on the regular album when it was first released. But the re-recorded tracks, there was no reason for that. They just wanted to get some guest stars on there. Flip their dick around. Avril Lavigne, Here in Your Bedroom. Yeah, Here in Your Bedroom was a great song, released on a much better album. I personally don't think that Avril Lavigne adds anything special to the song. She's just kind of there. Like, it was unnecessary. All the songs they re-recorded, unnecessary. It just didn't do anything for me. I don't want to bloviate too much about this album here, but yeah, if they put the original tracks from the deluxe edition on the album in place of the bad songs, this would probably rank 1 or 2 spots higher for me. Number 6, Disconnection Notice. To me, this album screams polarizing. There are some real stinkers on this album, bad songs I'm talking about, but there are also a lot of decent, underrated songs. My Everything, Too Many Nights, Behind the Mask, even Damaged, which sounds very different from the rest of the songs on the album, has this like haunting element to it that I really enjoy. With this album, Goldfinger was still pretty political. They were starting to bring back some of the ska elements, all which is good by me. Bonus tracks on this album are pretty good. Time and Get By, those are bangers. The one thing I could say about this album, and probably its most glaring flaw other than bad songs, is bad production. The production on this album is Goldfinger's absolute worst. Like, you can just hear a song from this album and know it's from this album. I feel like most people would rank this album pretty low, if not at the bottom, but I do think it deserves a re-listen or two. At number 5, the album where Goldfinger went political, Open Your Eyes. Now, let me just start by saying I can see where a lot of people might get lost here with, all the political theme songs or whatever. Punk rock is a political genre. Doesn't have to be, but it is inherently. That being said, does it make a good Goldfinger album? Yeah, it does. Now, we have to point out the flaws, of course. Now, there are a lot of wasted tracks like Liar and Woodchuck. Don't need to have those in there. You could argue Spank Bank's a wasted track too, but I like that one because my guy's in a Spank Bank. Like, that's good. Everybody likes Spank Banks. The worst thing about this album, definitely, though, is the production. This is another album that does not have very good production. I wouldn't say it's quite as bad as Disconnection Notice, but it is right up there, let me tell you. Other than that, though, most of the songs on this album are good, catchy, nice, good, nice songs. Next up at number 4, we got Hello Destiny. Now, this album has a lot of similarities to the previous 2 releases, Disconnection Notice and Open Your Eyes. It's mostly pop-punk songs, and they throw 2 ska songs in there as well to mix things up. Now, I think overall, the songs on this album flow through better than Disconnection Notice and Open Your Eyes. They're also better quality, and the production is not garbage. But let's talk about the songs. The most important part of the album. The songs, like I said, on this album are mostly pretty good. The last 2 tracks, I'm not a fan of. The bonus tracks are nothing that interesting. Get Up is a fantastic song. Handjobs for Jesus, just the title alone, right there, winner. But that song is also great. But what I think is the worst part about this album, and actually frustrates me, is the song War. They smack it right in the middle of the album, and it features an absolutely disgusting, despicable human being. All future releases of this album should have had that song scrubbed, but it's on the album. It's there. I try to forget about it. That's all I'm going to say. At number 3, The Knife. What can I say? I really like this album. I remember when it came out, I was like, holy shit, Goldfinger still has it. This was essentially just an amalgamation of John Feldman working with a bunch of guest stars, but it really worked out, actually. There are 2 stinky tracks. The last track I wasn't a fan of, and Orthodontist Girl was just bad. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. It features Josh Dun, and I hate 21 Pilots, so I don't think that had any bearings on why I don't like the song. It just is an added bonus for me to feel a little better about not liking it. Overall, though, this album gets a big thumb up from me. I was surprised that they took so long between making the previous album and this one that it actually came out this good. But, whatever, my man. It's good stuff. When I listen to Get What I Need, dude, I just want to blast bad brains just like he says in the song. Hell yeah. Coming in at number 2, we got Hang Ups. Now this, in the ska-punk community, is a certified classic. Yes, it is a good album. There are some absolutely timeless hits on this album, but it's not without its stinkers. I think people tend to overlook the low points on this album because they're focusing on the high points of this album, like Superman, Disorder, Carlita. Man, how can you not like Carlita? Angelo Moore just kills that song. But yeah, there's a lot of other songs on this album, like Authority, My Head, SMPs, songs like that. Once they're done, you just forget you even heard them. That, folks, is what I would call a forgettable track. But yeah, that's the biggest thing that bogs his album down, is forgettable tracks. But it's evened out with some unforgettable tracks. Coming in at the top spot, number 1 is their eponymous debut, Goldfinger. There was never any other option to be in this top spot. This album is so good. I would say that every single Goldfinger album has at least a bad song on it. This does not. All swings, all home runs, 0 misses. You can't mess with this album. This is top tier. Every time I listen to it all the way through, it just gets better. Anxiety is one of my favorite songs of all time. This album goes in your ears and out your nut. I just cannot say enough good things about this album. But yeah, if anyone's actually tuning into this album ranking series, feel free to comment. Let me know what you disagree with. Tell me how right I am about this top pick, and I'll see you next time.